James Barnes here, and today I am talking to my brother Lonnie, and this is something that we've done before, right, Lonnie?
Yes.
And I think the name I kind of like to carry with these conversations is Real Talk, because this is about what it takes to move in today's society as a man of God, and maybe even like what we want to do today is almost kind of go on a back journey and walk our way forward in our relationship. Where we are and where you are actually, because man, we've done videos before, which we'll post those again or reshare them. But how long? That was about a year ago, maybe.
Yeah.
I think we did our last ones,
Yes.
and there's a lot's changed, and so right. Our journey. I'm going to give you a kind of a ground of like the journey that we're kind of talking about. I wrote it down because that's the kind of guy I am, but. This is like almost a story, and it's the same story heard throughout the gospel over and over again. It's broken, healed, planted, confident, and then running the race. And the cool part, and that's kind of the journey we're gonna walk in this conversation, right? But the coolest part, the most important part that we're gonna like really talk about is running the race, because after everything's said and done, and we kind of get to the back end first, I think we're both happy where we're at running the race. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I don't even know if we know fully where we're trying to get. I know we know where we're trying to get, but how to get there is the fun part, right?
It's the fun, but I guess the process, it's kind of rough. I guess.
Right.
I mean, nothing's easy. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right. My wife and I talk about that, like climbing mountains. It's not easy. Lifting weights is not easy. So to look at it and understand it from like even playing football is not easy. If you're gonna go to NFL, it's not easy. So so if you are running a race to win, it's not going to be easy. So let me ask you this question. Let's kind of people that don't know you, haven't met you in our previous videos. Let me just throw it on the table. So you of course had a very rough background, and we'll get into that a little bit. I'll let you get into that. But in a rough background, we met each other kind of right as you were walking into. You were broken, right? You were on your way to be healed, I would say, at that point when I met you. Would you say yes, or were you healed? Where were you when I met you?
I mean, not only was I broken, well, at the time that I met you, I wanted to be healed and I wanted to move forward, but my ground was so shaken that I couldn't see beyond that. Even though I knew that I had to move forward, but when you're going through it, it's like you can't see past it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me to know that I was on the process of being healed, I didn't know it at the time.
It's cool because to see you going through it, of course we've talked about it before where we met, and I won't get into that, but just to watch you go through, like I said, broken, healed, planted, confident, and then like in the race. And so what does that mean? Like, you spent 22 years, correct me if I'm wrong, 20 years of your life?
It's 21 and a half.
21 and a half years behind bars. Okay. And honestly, I don't really care so much about talking about the reasons so much. There's a lot of reasons you could find yourself in that predicament, I'm sure. But the big part is you were in that predicament, and it was pretty rough. You weren't just in prison. You also had 14 years segregation.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. Let me try one last statistic. 3 years super seg. Or is that okay?
Yes.
And what is that?
Segregation, it's when you're taken out of population and put into a single man cell just because they feel that you're a threat, just like you're a threat to society out here. The prison system feels that you're a threat to population, to other staff, to other inmates, so they isolate you by housing you 23 hours a day in a single man cell, 1 hour to wreck and shower. Super seg gets a little rougher because that just isolates you even that much more, that you're not going out for shower.
Backyard, don't mind us.
You're not going out for shower. You have everything inside your cell. The only time you can go out, it's either for medical because something's wrong, you're dying, for visitation, or for that 1 hour erect, but that's it. Everything else is like you're more confined. the difference between super seg and seg is that seg, your doors, they have a screen. Super seg, they have a glass.
Okay.
They're isolating you more and more.
Yeah, gotcha. Hey, you said 3 years like that? Was that obviously? I'm gonna say obviously. I don't have a clue. Was it consistently? I mean, how much time were you? Periods, seasons, I guess.
Three different times.
Okay.
And all 3 times, and only for the simple reason that I was already like in the process of coming out. So it got broken up to where I got a break. You know what I'm saying? So I did like a year. Came out, and then eventually, went back through the process again. Got there again, did another year. Went the 3rd time for the process again, and then it's like, that's where you find me at today.
Right, boom. So let me pause there. So I mean, like once again, we can get in all the psychology and all the problems and all.